Did. Oh, better late than never. So, good morning, everybody. The live stream is now up and running, and late start because the operator simply had a momentary brain disconnect there. Anyway, we'll get a report on that. I think there was somebody else in there. Who else wants to check into the Arizona SWOTnet? Oh, okay, John. Let me swing over to you. KC6SEH. We'll bump it over toward you there in Lake Havasu. Good morning, John. How copy?
Oh, real good. I was copying you good. Not in for a long time. Here till next Thursday, and then I'm gone again.
Okay, yeah. I peeked up on you a little bit there. Boy, this thing, yeah, Chuck, this thing is a lot sharper. So very good. Yeah, it's great to hear you. Well, I've been off. I haven't done the net for a couple of weeks. The guys here have been holding things together. Had a trip out of town, and then of course my antennas have been down, and they're partly back up. One of the top antenna on the array is up. I don't have the other one yet in place, but it's rebuilt and looking good. So how's things out there in Lake Havasu?
Well, it's always been pretty good. I've been stuck up in Northern California for the last couple of months. But if I can have a been on the radio, I stopped about 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I was 3 weeks, I guess. I was here for a week and been gone again. So things look pretty good over there.
Yeah, that you guys have been struggling with the rain out there. I know, and but actually, we've gotten a lot of rain. Al has gotten he's gotten the most of anybody around here. I know. One of the guys up in Scottsdale, Jim W7ADF, they've had over 6 inches of rain up there. Here we're just about 4 2/3 inches, though, which is double what I normally get here near Tucson. So it's been great there, John. And are you going to be back home for a while now, or are you heading out again yet?
No, I'm only home until Thursday, then I'll be gone again for I don't know how long. My wife is stuck in Northern California. She had an operation on her eye, and she can't go over 1,500 feet, so she's got an air pocket in her eye, so she's stuck at ground level.
Ah, okay. Well, you're not going to get her back up on the tower for a while then, right?
Yeah, no, none of that stuff. But anyway, and Chuck is he out there?
Yeah, Chuck is out there. I was going to ask Chuck, did you need to talk to John at all?
Yeah, hey John, do you copy me? November Juliet 6 Delta?
Yeah, Chuck, good copy on you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I sent you some email earlier about the amplifier. Just if you want, we can go ahead.
Okay, no problem at all. If you're still interested, I'll get a picture of it and send it to you in the email.
Roger, that'd be perfect, John. I'm thinking through. I'm thinking through the whole setup that I want to have. The intent was to have that as a little extra horsepower. I'm going to do a road trip up to Delta Mike 27, 28, and 29, and I wanted to have a little bit of oomph on 6 meters. Go ahead.
Yeah, QSL, let's see. Yeah, I put it in line when I first told Mike, WD7R, about it. And it's running, it's supposed to be, it's the high, the power is supposed to be 375, but it's running about 325 on it. Is that going to be good enough?
Yeah, how much drive are you using right now to get that 325?
About 20 watts. I run it between 15 and 20 watts on the drive.
All right. Well, yeah, I don't know if you have it there. I'd be interested because I can either drive it with my 705, which would be 10 watts, or I could drive it with my FT100D, which I could dial back to whatever I want it to be. Go ahead.
Yeah, QSL. I don't have it in line. It's I put it back in the box, so I'll try and dig it out today and get a picture of it and shoot it over to you.
Sounds good, John. Much appreciated. So, yeah, we'll ping back and forth here over the weekend what's left of it, and we'll figure it out. MJ6B.
Okay, thanks a lot, Chuck. And that's about all for me over here, Doug. We'll kind of move along and let you guys get rolling with your net over there.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, those TE amps are good amps to have mobile. I've got the one in mine, the 2 meter version, and I drive it with the 705, so it doesn't get pushed too hard. But it does with 10 watts in. It delivers about 220 watts out. I've got a driver amp, but I think I've got a grounding issue between them, and so I'm not running it at the full potential. But anyway, to be always something to work on. Okay, John, thanks for stopping by. Great to catch up with you there. And when you get back, squared away there, and when you get back, we'll look forward to hearing more from you there, John. Over.
Yeah, what's the next appointment is on the 26th, so hopefully she'll be able to come home then. So you guys take it easy over there. Thanks a lot, and we'll look for you again.
Okay, 73's John. You have a good one. And thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Let me see. Let me get the antenna back toward Phoenix here, and let's see. Anybody else wanting to check in? Let me see. I've got got a couple guys. K7SWK, Dave. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. This is K7SWK in Phoenix. I was listening to the rag chew, but then had to make a trip down the hallway, and I'm here, and I'm going to stick with you for this net.
Okay, sounds great. Good signal this morning, and we got you on the list. And Mike, WD7R. Good morning, Mike. How you doing up there?
Good morning, Doug and the group, WD7R. You got a good signal. Are you all
there? So the more to follow on the update on the antenna, but quickly, it's the upper of the phased array is in and refurbished, and looks kind of getting a feel for how the single Yagi works. It definitely is sharper now that it's been fixed up.
You sound good up here. You're about 10:15 over 9. I'll have to give you an official signal report soon, but good morning, and thanks for taking my check-in. Good to hear you.
Okay, sounds good, Mike. We got you in on the list, and go do your breakfast thing, and we'll catch you back in a little bit. I see Emel's in there, W1GGM. Good morning, Emil.
Yeah, good morning, Doug. Just thought I'd say hello. I'm going to be in and out right now. I'll try and stop back after 4:32 if you guys are still running. Missed you Friday. I guess you and Chuck were working on antennas and whatnot. It was just me and AJ on Friday morning. We had a nice chat there. I don't know if he sent you the picture of his shack. I got a comment on it. It's, how can you operate in that place? It's too damn neat.
Okay. Of your shack, you got it all cleaned up?
No, I'm talking AJ's.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't see that. I've kind of been disconnected the last, as you know, with the trip, and then getting back, I had to scramble to get the second Yagi worked on and ready to go back up, which it's still it's on the ground, but it's ready to be final adjustments and go back up. But yeah, Friday morning before the sun was up, we were working on that. So I missed again, but Monday I will be there for sure.
Yeah, very good. You know, it's getting lighter and lighter. Do you guys move the schedule time earlier as we get into summer?
We did in times past. Yeah, we have. We've gone to 5:30, and that probably I have no idea, but man, being off for a couple of weeks, I'll bet it's getting tough. Much past 6:30.
Yeah, I don't know. It was still fine for me and AJ, but he's got room and signal in here anyway, so we'll just have to see what happens. But anyways, have a good day. We'll be back a little later. I got to go get breakfast ready and whatnot. A ton of stuff to do here this morning. So, anyways, good hearing you. Glad your trip went okay. And I've talked to Robert a couple times, but neither one of us made it to the park Thursday. So take care, Doug. We'll catch you later.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Things have been crazy on Robert's end too. Okay. Well, sounds good. And thanks for stopping by, Emil. And we'll look for you later on, or I'll see you Monday morning. So sounds terrific. Let's see. Let me get back to the computer here. Anybody else lurking? No. I think we got everybody that's on the computer here lined up. So let's see if there are any more folks out there wanting to check in here on 2 meters, K7EME. All right, nothing heard. Comment to Chuck. I noticed the with the SWR being flat, I did run it up to full. Actually, maybe a little more than 1,500 watts, and it does get the needle to budge a little bit unreflected. So there is some, but it takes probably a good 1,800 watts to do that.
Oh, very good. Yeah, you'll have to put a lower power slug in there in the reverse direction and get a measurement. But yeah, that sounds a lot like my 6-meter Yagi on FT8 and MSK, right? On those frequencies, I full 1,500 plus out, and I get about 2 watts returned. So good deal. That's a good sign there, Doug.
Yeah, I just thought I would comment as I observe things here. So, and actually, that is with not very much drive. It seems like it's taking just slightly less drive than it did before. But that's not a objective. I never really did it's subjective. I didn't really get a chart going on it or anything. I should have done that, but way better than what it was before. Of course, I think the SWR was 1.8 that I was dealing with the upper antenna previously. So obviously, there was connector issues, and the old LMR 400 jumpers were at the end of their usable lifespan there. Anyway, just comments as I go along here and see how it's doing. Anybody else out there wanting to check in? K7EME.
Okay, Doug, it'll be really interesting if Serge checks in today to see how that works out.
Yeah, again, propagation is so up and down. Lately, it's been up, or well, I should say 2 weeks ago when I last did the net, or whenever that was. I had really great conditions. But I think it'll take several contacts to really evaluate it. But yeah, I wanna get some time. We'll see. I definitely am psyched to see how he comes in today.
Yep, that'll be fun. Real good. Well, we're most of the way. I think all the hard stuff is done at this point, so that's good. Did you get any Zener diodes by the Diode Fairy?
Yeah, I saw your text about that, and then I was struggling with taxes last night, and I'm one form short of a full deck here, so I may have to wait. I got to call Vanguard up to get go figure. 9 o'clock on a Saturday night, they're not there to answer their phones about a 1099 form I'm missing. Anyway, other than that, um, I'm fairly close. Looks like I'm gonna owe Uncle Sam a little bit, but not bad. Anyways, so yeah, it's all good. But no, I did not. I did get, however, the caps. The electrolytics are in, and but not the Zeners.
All right. Well, and I presume you haven't had time to trace back. So if you're I'm going to be in that boat today too. I'm between for the shop. The number one is finish off the dotting of I's and crossing T's today on the taxes. So true to form, last minute.
Oh well, particularly when you owe money, why give them a free loan or whatever? I'd rather it be on the reverse. Although, like I say, it's not a tremendous amount. It's definitely a one radio unit, maybe a little more, but not terribly bad. Anyways, I kind of in the back of my mind, I thought I might just based on previous experiences with Uncle Sam. But anyway, it is what it is. Let's see. Oh, and I've got that 902 DM thing coming up. I haven't bid on it yet, but I will see how that pans out this afternoon as well. Anyway, so moving along. But boy, my backyard is looking good. I've been going out an hour every morning and doing maybe sometimes a couple hours of work before it gets warm and getting caught up. And with my back and everything being really really good. Oh, it's looking better than it's looked in a couple years. So having fun out in the garden, getting fresh air and all that good stuff. Anyway, let's get back on track here and get things rolling. Let's see if we can drag in number 20 on the check-in list, K7EME.
Just a quick comment, Doug. It's very obvious up here that your antennas are doing better.
Oh, those are the kind of comments I like to hear. Jerry, so I'm glad. Well, it's like I say, it's still just the single antenna, but it's rebuilt and there's no droop, if not more, on either end of the 35-foot boom. And now it just looks so pretty sitting up there all ramrod straight. But the one that I was on before had an arced over end connector and 1.8 SWR. Now it's very flat. So thank you for your comment there, Jerry. Over.
Yeah, I could tell. I got on this morning that things had really improved, so that's great. And I know what you mean about this pride of ownership thing. I go out and look at my new stack every now and then and think, man, they are pretty.
Oh, Chuck and I were saying it's you got to be a ham to appreciate the beauty of straight aluminum high up there in the sky and just glinting in the sun. And I mean, it's the same antenna, but boy, does it look better, man. So yeah, can't wait to get the other one up there. But it's fun to evaluate as a single Yagi, and then I'll be able to appreciate the full set later on. But yeah, and it's great to talk to you guys again. I didn't realize how much I missed being able to talk to you guys till the antennas were down, and I so enjoy with doing the net and everything. It's fun to be back on here. Anyway, appreciate the comment, Jerry. Anybody else out there?
Quick question. That 144, 450 net, do they all run vertical on that?
Yeah, I'll let Jerry answer that question. But yes, as I understand, everybody is vertical, but maybe at the end they do horizontal. Is that right, Jerry?
Yeah, this is W5RCQ. No, we are dedicated vertical on the 450 net. It all got started because, everybody had their antennas for FM, so that's the way they've stayed. dedicated vertical.
Alrighty. Yeah, I thought that might be the case. I kind of snuck in there last week to listen a little bit, and I would have had to, we're talking two different radios, I would have probably had to have taken the coax loose and moved a few things around, but I didn't want to go to that much trouble. I thought I'd just ask. But and the other thing I should know, just in case.
No, we'd be very happy to hear you. So, yeah, go ahead and join us. Even if you're horizontal, you can give us a call.
Okay. Well, I have vertical capability. I just needed to know. But anyway, thank you, Jerry. I appreciate it. K7SWK.
Yeah, good there, Dave. And yeah, well, when Robert and I were up in Kansas City last week, we were able to take a quick side trip to Associated Radio in KC, and it's that store has been there for 40 plus years. Used to advertise in QST. I remember when I was a kid, actually 50 plus years and more. And what it's like the holy grail to me of going into that store. And they had some 2-meter AM a tour that was in really nice shape. I couldn't resist. I had to buy it, plus a couple other little boat anchors as long as I was there to commemorate my visit to that store, because they used to advertise in QSD, and every month they had a picture of their used gear wall, and they still sell the used gear there. And I used to drool over the list that would come out every month in QS3. All the Drake TR4, the Swans, the old Collins, the Gonsets, all the good stuff. Anyway, so Robert was kind enough to navigate us over there, and we got to visit. So that was really great. So I will have 2-meter AM capability. I do have a little vertical I've got up that I've had from field day back right the first field day after I retired. I bought it to take up when Den W7KMV and I went up for a field day operation down out in the mountains out of Sierra Vista, and it's been laying on the ground. So I put it up. So I have possibility, and I actually have an AM crystal that I had for 144 343. So maybe crossband kit tour that I will check out here shortly, whenever I have spare time. Let's see, getting back to business here. K7CWA, Warren, how you doing up there? And let's get you on the list here.
Okay, very good, Doug. Well, I guess I'm doing okay, relatively speaking. In here for the count, really don't have anything to add to the net other than my presence, and I know how joyful that makes most people. So I say tongue-in-cheek, and that's about it. Here for the count, anyhow.
All right. Well, welcome, and great to hear you again there. And you'll think of something, as always, before you get back around with your turn there. So I'll leave you to your thoughts, and you can come up with some pearls of wisdom there, maybe. Anybody else out there?
WX7G.
WX7G with a great signal this morning. How you doing, Jim?
Doing fine. Enjoying Arizona. And glad to have you back. Not that I'm complaining about anything, but good to have you back.
Well, great to be back as well. And yeah, I missed you guys too. And so a little mini vacation with the antennas being down and everything, but it's all good. And have you been behaving yourself in my absence? You didn't give, and by the way, thanks to all you guys, it was a village effort, and keep the net in good hands while I was gone. Al and Steve and Chuck and everybody that participated there to keep things going. But my question is, were you behaving while I was gone?
Well, of course I was, Doug. I can't imagine that you would think I might not be.
All right. Well, I just, I haven't gotten the full report yet, so I wanted to make sure that you were toeing the mark there.
You have no expensive idea how expensive it was to buy them people out. No, I had a great time, and yeah, everybody did a great job. Glad that you guys had a safe trip coming and going. I know it's really tough going through Oklahoma City. It's kind of scary, but I'm glad to see that you made it. Anyway, I am going to be part of the net here this morning, so I will be hanging around.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, we went pretty smooth going through Oklahoma City. Their skyline is really weird. I've never been through there before, and they have the usual skyline there, but then there's this one building that is double the height of all the rest, and so it just towers over everything else. So I don't know. Somebody went crazy with that one building.
That's not the one they blew the front off from, is it?
No, I don't think so. I think that's been rebuilt. I don't think that was that. No, this thing looks like it's 50 stories high. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think those guys just want to prove they could do it. WX7G.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, no, it was pretty going through there. They've got a lot of spring stuff growing. And they're well into spring. It was pretty going through there. So a lot of green in the fields, and a lot of cows, a lot of oil rigs. Man, it's like we know we're not in Arizona anymore. That's for sure. Anyway, so we'll catch up with you later. Thanks for checking in, Jim. Anybody else out there?
A7E.
Good morning, Troy. How you doing?
Oh, trying to regain consciousness here. And I'm just going to be one and done. I can listen from out in the shop where I'm going, but I won't be able to talk.
Okay, well, no problem. And I'm glad you stopped by to say hi. And I hope are you happy with how things went with your construction project on 10 gigs so far?
Yeah, so far, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to use that one to put in a remote box and put on the back of the house, and then I just run the IF line and some control lines to it, and can make a permanent installation there. And that's kind of my thought process at the moment. I've even got a box in mind to put it in because it's fiberglass, and the sun won't heat it up as much. Although I'm gonna mount it in a place where it's going to be under the back patio anyway. So we'll see how that project proceeds, and then I may start working on a portable one. As well there, and got to work on a better antenna. I was just using a horn antenna there. Where Chuck and Joel were, and Robert sent me a carrier. I could tell it was in there, but it was very, very weak. And so a bigger antenna would have probably helped out a lot. And so we'll be working on that down the road there, but was pleased that everything went as well, as it did. We with two different radios on the other end. I think Jim came by and was out there with Chuck, and so anyway, it was good. I could also kind of tell that Steve Bell was in there from time to time, but you know, it was so weak, I really couldn't understand what he was saying. So anyway, that's pretty much about how it went, and I was happy, you know, with the results. You know, I thought I did okay. There, K7EME in the group, WA7ELN.
Okay, well that's that's as good a report as you could hope for, and you're receiving. You get a dish going, and you'll have you know, a lot of great improvement with that. So that's awesome, and you know, I look for more reports. Eventually, you know, I'm so underwater with all my projects right now. You know, once the antenna situation gets calmed down around here, I've got to get back to the 1296 amp, and then there are a ton of other projects. When it gets hot out, I'll be definitely busy all summer long. Hopefully, I can get those all wrapped up in the fall here, but I definitely got things to do. Anyways, sounds good, and appreciate 10. I moved it over, and we got anybody up that way. K7EME looking north for the Arizona SWOT net. All right, and let's head over kind of the hill here to towards Tucson and the southeast. Let's see if we can rattle any cages over that way. And Jim, are you monitoring anybody over that way? And 6CAZ, you copy, Jim? Oh, okay. He must be doing. I don't know if he's doing a Parks on the Air activation or just what. We'll bring it back around here toward Phoenix here. So let me pause for a minute.
You got Ron KW7RNX out there.
Yeah. Okay. I saw that online. Ron, KW7RNX. Go ahead.
KW7RNX, got quite a bit of QRN. How I copy?
Okay, yeah, I copy you there, Ron. I'm not peeked up on you, and my antenna's a bit sharper now than it was before. But anyway, so I apologize for that. But I do copy.
Hey, Doug, you need to check your drive level. You got really wide.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah, kind of crunchy too.
How's that now?
Give me some more.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
No, it's still a little crunchy.
Oh, I wonder what that's all about. Let me check the SWR here. Hello. No, that's not it. Hold on. I don't know what's going on here. Stand by.
You're sounding good right there, Doug.
Okay, still sounding good?
Yeah, it's a little muffled below what it was, but not as bad as it was.
Okay, well, Chuck, what are you hearing close up?
Yeah, I'm kind of hearing the same thing Robert's hearing. It looks wide, and it's still not as clean as it was earlier. There's something's not right.
All right, tell you what, Robert, can you take it for a minute? Let me check things. You know, things have been disconnected. Let me go off frequency and take a look. K7EME.
You sounded a lot better that time, right there, Doug.
All right, something is intermittent here, I guess. Let me do that anyway. Robert, can you take it just for a second? I want to tighten things up.
Oh yeah, no problem. And it happened when you were talking with KW7RNX. It was mid-speech there, so don't know. Hopefully something didn't let loose. I was wondering if maybe your what am I trying to say? Your 10 dB pad or something has let loose or something. It
It just sounded like you were overdriving something. It was lots of hash in it. Anyway, it's November 7 Victor Delta for the Arizona SWOT Net. Looking for additional check-ins. Please call now.
N7VD K7EME.
Yeah, what's going on, Al?
Well, that worked. I didn't have the amp picked up. I was just going to go ahead and see if I can get Ron in here real quick. Yeah. RNX, Ron, you got a copy? Okay, Ron. Everything okay out there? Over.
I'm getting you right now, so I'll just let them know I'll be standing by, and either you or maybe check the relay if eventually I'll be standing by for you.
Okay. Yeah, Doug's having a little bit of trouble right now. He's looking into it. So, okay, Ron. Good to hear from you this morning. K7EME, back to net.
Yeah. How does it sound now? I just curious.
Really crunchy.
Holy cow! Let me cut the amp off. All right. How does it sound now?
Sounds clean.
Wow. Let me really reduce the drive here. Okay. How about now?
Sounds pretty clean.
How about now?
Sounds pretty clean.
How about now?
Sounds pretty clean. You might want to ask Chuck, how's it look on the scope there?
Okay, give me some more transmission. I had to step away to refill the coffee cup, but I just got back. Give me some chatter.
Yeah, okay. I'm wondering if I need to change the bias on this thing a little bit, but how does it sound now?
No, it's not as bad as it was before, but it still looks wide to me.
Well, okay. How does it sound?
It sounds a little. It's got some fuzz on it. It's not as clean and crisp as you were when you started the net.
Crap. Okay. Well, I've got it way back. Geez, I know it was taking a little bit different drive. It was driving easier with the lower SWR. And so I don't know. I've cut it back fairly significantly. Let me go back a little bit more there. I don't know. Let's see if how that is.
Yeah, it cleaned up there before you made the adjustment. So there's something intermittent, I think. That's what it sounds like to me, and I can see very clearly the change on the waterfall display here as well.
Okay, so it cleaned up while I was talking, and I wasn't really doing anything. Is that correct?
Yep, and now it's back to where it was kind of fuzzy and a little bit wide.
All right, let me, is this making any difference at all? I'm moving a different cable around.
Not obviously.
Okay, how about now? Anything different there?
That sounds cleaner.
Really? Hold on a sec. Let me stand by for a minute here. Let me do something else here. Hold on.
The only thing I could think of that would change dynamically like that would be your mic cord, because you're moving your head around. You might check something on that range there, over.
Yeah, that's what I was doing the first time. I was moving the cord around, and So I'm doing that again. I backed. I'm extending it out. How did that make any difference?
I couldn't really tell. It's just like Chuck said. It just sounds a little fuzzy, like you're getting some RF into it, maybe a bad ground connection on a mic or something.
Well, I still have the cabinet, the top off of the amplifier, and I'm wondering if maybe that. But I can't find offhand. The shack is a mess because of all the stuff we've been doing. Hold on a sec, guys. Robert, just take it for a minute. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. This is November 7 Victor Delta for the Arizona SWOT Net. Looking for additional check-ins. Please call now.
It's W7IXA.
Well, hello there, Northern Doug. How you doing? W7IXA, November 7 Victor Delta. You going to stick around with us or just a drive-by?
This is a drive-by shooting. Actually, that's not all that funny. I observed the same thing on Doug's signal, and it was commensurate with moving the mic cord around, so I suspect he's got some RFI problems in the mic. I have those problems here if I'm not careful. So I have RF chokes on all the mics right at the front of the radio. Those little snap-on guys usually fix that. Anyhow, good morning to everybody, and take it away there, Robert. W7IXA.
All right, no problem. Good to hear you, Doug. And it's been a while. We'll try to get back up on 1296 this week. Anyway, we just been doing a lot of stuff, so we'll catch up on that later. All right, this is November 7 Victor Delta, looking for additional check-ins for the Arizona SWOT Net. Please call now.
Kilo 8 Whiskey Queen.
Okay, you're a Winkman in there with the headphones on. Try again. Let me try a different antenna. Over.
Kilo 8 Whiskey Queen.
Okay, that's what I thought it was. Gene, K8WQ. How you doing? That long time. Over.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. Yeah, it's been a long time. And I saw that Jim was phone. He talked to me to checking in, so I thought I would let you guys know that I'm around. I was in the hospital for 6 weeks, so that was part of my excuse, but that's not all of it. But it's good to get back on KWQ.
Okay, very good, Gene. Sounds good. Well, glad you're going to join us, and thanks so much. You going to stick around, or are you going to be just in and out? Over.
Yeah, like I said, it's good to get back on there. I'm going to stick around for the rest of the net, so thanks a lot for giving me a call back.
Okay, very good, Gene. Well, you're pretty much at the bottom of the list, but it'll be a while. We'll get back to you. Thanks again for checking in. It's good to hear you again. This is November 7, Victor Delta, looking for additional check-ins for the Arizona SWOT Net. Please call now. Okay, got two of you. Whiskey Juliet something. Go ahead.
Robert, that's Lee in Flagstaff. WJ0F, K7EME.
WJ0F. In and out today. Still working on half an antenna. I am going to get a quote to repair it and put it back up. I kind of miss having all that aluminum up there. Over.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, you got a beautiful signal down here, Lee. Okay, you're in and out. Hey, last week when I worked you, I was off the back of the antenna. Over.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're like the old signal I remember from you. You're S7. Over.
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, last week my antenna was windmilling. It was just spinning around. After I worked you, I went up and looked at it, and sure enough, it was off the back of the antenna, so must have been lined up just perfectly. Okay, Lee, we got you into the net, so you're in and out. We'll catch you later on. Well, do you have anything else to report other than you're going to try to repair the antenna? Over.
No, we got nice weather up there. You guys are getting hot. We're getting pleasant. 73 in the net. WJ0F.
Okay, Lee. Lee says it's getting pleasant up there. It was cold, but it's getting pleasant. So he's going to get work. He says 7-3 to the net. K7ZYP, back to you, Robert.
All right, very good. You know, I heard him on the loop, and he came up to S3, so that was fantastic. Good deal there, Lee. All right, and Barry, K7BQ, I got you in there. Will you be able to stick around?
Like I said, I'm in and out. I'll maybe talk to you guys next week. K7EME.
Okay, very good, Barry. Great signal. Good to hear from you. And thanks for checking in. And to the numbers for sure. Okay, this is November 7, Victor Delta, looking for additional check-ins. Please call now.
All right, signal check.
Okay, give me some more chatter there, or?
Yeah, okay. I snapped a couple ferrite beads on the mic cord and also put the cabinet back on the amp. Any difference?
Well, it's not nearly as bad, but I'm still seeing some fuzz on the side there, on the lower side of your signal. Chuck, how about you, over?
Yeah, I kind of got the same report. It's definitely cleaner, Doug, but it's not as sharp, not as crisp as it was at the very beginning. It's hard to explain it.
Okay, well, I hope I didn't do anything to the FET in here. That would not be good. No, definitely not. I'm barely driving it now. Well, I'm only putting about, well, hold on a sec. I'm going to put on a carrier. I want to see if Chuck, look at my carrier on the scope. Here, hold on. Here comes a carrier. All right. Did anything looking weird on that?
No, it looks pretty good. There's a couple really low-level spurs on either side, about, I don't know, maybe kilohertz or so down, but they're pretty low. So nothing bad as far as I could tell. I don't know if what Robert saw.
Okay. All right. I'm going to put another carrier on a little more drive. All right. How was that?
Yeah, give me that carrier one more time.
Okay, that was at 800, a little over 800 watts. Okay, hold on.
You doubled, Robert.
Go ahead, Robert.
Okay, on the 9700, I saw 5 or 6 spurs, gently getting smaller and smaller as they go out, but they were on either side, so you still got some issues.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what. Oh man. Shoot. Any suggestions? I haven't changed anything else other than the antenna, and it was clean. I wonder if if that FET is going.
Hey, Doug, just because we're so close, pull the amp, turn the amp off, or disable it so you're just running the plain transverter.
Yeah, okay. Just the transverter now, and so there you go.
Yeah, give me a carrier. Yeah, it's pretty clean. When you were running the 800 watts before, I was seeing those same side spurs that Robert were seeing on either side of the carrier. They're only about a couple hundred hertz away from the main carrier, and their space about the same. But I'm now on the transverter. I see 2 spurs on either side of the carrier, About let's see, that's 50, yeah, about 125 hertz away. So I don't know, there's something off on my SDR, so I have no processing at all, Doug. So that's what I wanted to make sure is that I wasn't generating it myself, but there's still something there.
All right. Let me put the amp back on. All right. At this level, am I still going to be able to do the net, or is that not going to work?
No, I think you can still do the net. Like I said, it's got a little fuzz to it, and I think Robert would confirm that.
Yeah, you're perfectly understandable. You just don't sound as clear as you normally did. And it was weird that it happened mid-sentence there, so something let loose there, or.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm looking at the idle current, and it's 2.5 amps. I don't remember what it's supposed to be with this. I'm wondering if that has anything to do with it, the bias setting. I may want to back that off a little bit because I may be getting out of Class AB. But why is it intermittent like that? I don't know. So if I can carry on, let me just see where we're at. So as long as I can carry on at this power level, I'll keep doing it. We're coming up on net time here pretty quick, so I'm gonna have to get something else to drink. But as long as Chuck is a little hard because he's so close. But Robert, if I'm okay enough to carry on with the net, I'll do that.
Oh yeah, no problem. You're good to go. So thanks, Vincent V.
Yeah, okay. And then maybe Chuck later on, or Robert, or whatever. I can adjust the bias a little bit, and maybe that's part of it. Maybe not. I don't know. But anyway, we'll carry on. All right, Robert, take it one more time. I'll get something else to drink here, and then we'll get the net started.
Hey, Doug, before you leave, one more thing to check.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, when you're talking there, look at your microphone level on the flex. Make sure make sure that you're not overdriving the mic level. That's just one last suggestion.
Yeah. Okay. All right. The compression. Well, there's no compression, and the peak is hitting up to about minus 3 or 4 dB. Just the peak reading bar. The solid bar is maybe 15, 12 to 15, minus 12 to 15 dB.
Yeah, okay, so you're good. I just wanted to make sure we cross that one off the list.
Yeah, okay. I maybe also I can listen on the stream later on and see what you guys are. I'll have to take a note of 54 minutes into the stream. Okay, I'll write that down. Anyway, we'll take a look. All right, I'll be right back. K7EME.
It is very much improved there, so yeah. K7EME, back to net.
Okay, as we get closer to net time, this is November 7, Victor Delta, looking for additional check-ins for the Arizona SWOT net. Please call now. And I'm looking on the Netlogger, and good morning to Richard down close to the border down there at KF7TXE. Good to hear you, or good to see you on the Netlogger there, and one of these days we'll get you checked in on the RF side. Anyway, anybody else for the Arizona SWOT net, please call now. All right, nothing heard, so we'll take a quick standby. Doug should be back here shortly in 780.
Okay, guys, we'll get things rolling here. Sorry about that. I got derailed there for a minute. We'll get the show going here, and so good to be back. So good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Arizona Sidewinders on TuneNet. This net is open to all amateurs, and we meet every Sunday morning at this time, 1530 Zulu, and up to an hour early, doing early check-ins. Every Sunday morning, regular as clockwork. My name is Doug. I'm K7EME, located in southern Arizona, a little bit west of Tucson, running lots of power to lots of aluminum and covering Arizona and the surrounding states. The purpose of this net is to encourage VHF and higher band activity here in the Southwest. And for more information, please check our website, AZSWOT.net, which is sponsored by Robert, November 7 Victor Delta. He put that together and did just a fantastic job of that. A lot of information there, and including we're adding some pictures of ourselves with our banner at some of the recent swap nets. So you can swap groups, hamfests. So you can get an idea of what all of us look like. Anyway, Robert's also running the Netlogger portion where you can see where things are at on the check-in list live, and send us messages if you need to. For example, to have us point your way to get you in here on an RF check-in. So with that, I'm going to take a listen around the compass here, and we will see where if we get any more check-ins. I'm going to swing out toward the west and take a look out that way, the west and northwest. K7EME, anybody out that way? And looking more to the west and north, K7EME for the Arizona SWOT net. And we'll swing out to the northeast, K7EME. And we're going to swing over to the east side here and southeast and see if anybody's out that way, K7EME. Rotated back toward Phoenix here, K7EME, stand by. Okay, so we can get things going. I do want to thank Al and Chuck and Steve for their help while we've been gone. I've had antennas down and rebuilding things, and also Robert and I, when we were gone up on our road trip to the Kansas City area. So appreciate you guys hanging it together, and the village effort of keeping things going with the live stream and all of that. So appreciate it very, very much all the way around there, guys. The new antenna is partially up, and not new antenna, but the rebuilt antenna. And so things are slowly getting put back together here at the station. So I'm hopeful that in the end it'll all be good. I think I've got sounds like a few little glitches to get worked out, but we should be able to roll pretty darn well here. Anyways, the trip up to Kansas City was great fun and very productive. We got Robert's dad moved down, and we just had a really good time. And I was able to even pick up some boat anchors. Don't tell them my wife, but anyway, they're still out in the Denali. But some 2 meter AM gear and was the primary thing, and so maybe we can participate in some of these 2 meter AM adventures that some of you guys have been having there. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, with that, let's put it to Robert and get things rolling here this morning. Go ahead, Robert.
Okay, very good, Doug. Yes, K7EME in the SWOT net, November 7th, Victor Delta. Robert over here in Northeast Mesa, SWOT number 3051. So, got a whole list of things. Hopefully the amplifier won't overheat. Anyway, let's see here. I'm going to turn the power down slightly. All right, we had a great time on the trip. I really could not have done that without Doug's help. I really appreciate that. More than you can imagine. It was a lot bigger undertaking than I had envisioned in my mind, you know, but hey, when you're working with your dad, you want to try to get things going. And he survived the trip pretty well. It was a little, kind of at the end there, he was tired. He's done quite well. We got him moved in and everything's set up and running. So, thanks again to Al, Chuck, and Steve for handling this net, as well as Mike and Jim and Steve, and all the rest of you guys for the 222 net. Thank you very much. It worked quite well. So, let's see. Yeah, on the Associated Radio thing, it was great. I have some pictures of Doug sitting on the floor admiring the Heathkit 6-meter gear that he picked up. So we'll have some fun with that. We'll have to maybe try to organize another 6-meter AM style net. I don't know. We'll see. But we'll have some fun with that. So, let's see. What else? Oh, we had a great time on the Microwave Activity Day yesterday. Had good contacts with Chuck and Joel up on Kid Peak. Fantastic signals from Delta Mike 41. And also, we got N6CAZ, his first wonderful 10 gig contact. I think he's bit with it, so we'll see how he does with the new one. Okay, let's see. Oh, the other thing I wanted to comment on, and Doug was talking about replacing coax, and at very high power levels, if 1500 watts, consistent, especially with meteor scatter and FT8. Standard coax, the electrification of the dielectric over time actually physically changes. So it's a good idea. I don't know off the top of my head how often you should change it. I would say probably at least every 5 years, because the dielectric properties will deteriorate, and you'll start losing. What you call it, the insertion loss will be getting more and more. Now, if you're running 100 watts or less, it can probably last you 10, 15 years, no problem. Anyway, that's about it. Back to net. K7EME and 7BD.
Yeah, that's a good point, Robert. And yeah, we the phasing lines are swapped out now to brand new FSJ Heliax half-inch. And so those are in line, but there still is one old piece of LMR 400 that is in there temporarily just until we get the power divider up there. So yeah, that'll be new, other than the 7/8 line. And that I don't know about replacing that every 5 years. That's 145 feet of was brand new Heliax. Yeah, that that would get into the radio budget a little bit there for sure. Anyway, but as far as the other, once it's split at the power divider, of course, then the power drops in half to less. But we'll see. We'll work this issue out and get things figured out. I suspect I may have to do a little bit of bias adjustment there too, because I think 2.5 amps is a little high. So maybe that's part of it. I don't know. We'll get it sorted out. Anyway, next is Al, K7ZYP. Al, over to you. And again, thanks for everything you did there. Over.
Okay, Doug in the net, K7ZYP here. Well, I didn't do that much. I gave it a shot, but every time the net would just get the net open, my antenna would start windmilling around up there. And I did last week, right after I noticed that was what was going on. I went ahead and bailed, handed over to Chuck and Robert there, and I did it 2 weeks in a row. It was quite embarrassing, but I went up there on the roof while the net was going on, and I lined everything back up, tightened all the U-bolts back up. They had come loose for some reason, and which is really strange. But I got everything lined back up for the time being. Seems to be holding for now, even with the winds we've had this last week. Anyway, glad to have you guys back. It was fun working you on the way up there. I'm sorry I didn't get to work you on the way back. But anyway, I'm sorry I didn't get over there to help you guys Friday. But things didn't work out there either. Went up to Chuck's, let's see, went over there after the Ham Fest last weekend, had a good time over at Chuck's there. And then went over to Chuck's, what was it, Monday for the eclipse. Had a good time. Very interesting. And thank you, Chuck. Boy, I'm having trouble on 432. I've got some high SWR over there. I need to get up there and check it out as soon as the wind calms down enough where I feel like I safely can go up on the roof, climb the ladder and stuff. I'll be checking that out. And let's see. Yeah, 2 meter AM. I don't think it's going to work too good between here and Phoenix on our verticals, but maybe with our high-powered amps and our horizontals, should be able to do it. Maybe not good signals, but we should be able to do it. And very good on the microwave day yesterday. I did not get to participate or go watch or whatever, but sounds like Jim might have had a good time, and Troy, and the rest of you. Good deal. Oh, and by the way, I got the Jeep running again yesterday. No, Friday. While my wife was up on the roof there, I went out and messed with the Jeep and found out that the mechanical fuel pump had given out. It's hard to get good ones these days. They still don't cost much, but it given out, and so I put the electric fuel pump on it, fired right up, no problem. So I think I got to replace the shift boots, the rubber boots around the shifters, stuff like that. The rats chewed them off, but I don't think I've had any rats in the Jeep here lately, so I think I can replace those. I have them. I have 2 extra sets of those. Anyway, so maybe I'll be able to get that thing cleaned up and put it on the road. I was thinking about towing it behind the truck up to the campsites this when we go camping for field day and whatnot. Maybe take a cruise out in the woods or whatever. Anyway, that's what's going on around here. I'll get back to net control. Probably have more to say. And Doug, you sound just fine. I don't think it's going to interrupt the net. You sound a heck of a lot better than when we first noticed the problem. So you made some really good improvements. Amplifier seems to be cranking out some watts today. It's putting out about 450, 500, something like that. So it's working good. Okay, with that, Matt Connect Control, K7ZYP.
Okay, well, very good, Al. Thanks for that encouragement there. I think there's just some little issues. I did have the cage off a bit, and I just thought of something else. Remember Chuck? I disabled the with that FET switch. I've disabled my overdrive SWR and the load fail, all that stuff, the temperature, all that is disabled. And that's just yet another project. I've got to double those FET switches up. The parts are sitting here, the boards are sitting here, just no time to do it yet. Anyway, so that just got moved up as well. Anyway, so just I'm thinking as I talk here, I need to focus on the net. Anyway, Steve, N7THW, again, thanks to you for holding up the live stream up there and all of that good stuff. Go ahead, Steve.
K7EME in the group N7THW, SWOT number 3663. Steve in East Mesa. Actually, Chuck held up the live stream. I just did the Netlogger itself. But anyway, what's going on down up here, I should say, is they're just praying that wife's kidney stone issues will be all gone Tuesday. She had some more scans done on Friday, and we haven't heard from the doctor yet, but we read the radiologist report, and it sounded good to us that those monster things are completely blown up now. So we'll find out. I'm looking forward to getting her back to normal. Like a dummy, I started deciding I wanted to put some more sidewalk in, finish some unfinished sidewalk that wasn't done here at the house ever. I had to wait till it gets real hot in the 90s to do it, so go figure. So anyway, I'll be listening to the live stream after I get done here, and because it's right around the corner from my garage, my TV out there, and I'll listen to YouTube on the live stream. But I'm going to be working on the forums there. And finally, the old Gonset, the old $20 Gonset I got at the SWOT meet is completely done. Now we can have a battle of the 2-meter AM boat anchors. Of course, Doug had to go get himself a Cadillac of them. So anyway, I sent some photos out to a couple of you that got to hold it and feel what a real junker it was. So anyway, it's all done and painted, looking pretty, and actually it works. I got full 10 watts out and good modulation with the D104. So anyway, I'm heading outside here shortly, and wish everybody a good day today. It's going to be a wonderful day. So K7EME in the group, N7THW 73.
All right, Steve. Very good. Well, I'll have to see that Gonset in person again, because I had the privilege of seeing it before you touched it, and so now I'm anxious to see what she looks like going forward. And I'll again, adding to the list, I'll definitely get that thing going, and we'll have to just do some informal tests and get on AM. So I do have a crystal at least, so I can get on, and those little tours, the regen receivers are, I guess, apparently so broad that it doesn't really matter where you're at, as long as you got a crystal to transmit with. So we'll see how that all works out. To be continued. Anyway, and next on the list is Chuck. And Chuck, thank you for the live stream. I stand corrected. And Steve, thank you for the Netlogger service. So got it all mixed up. Go ahead, Chuck.
Okay, K7EME in the group, NJ60, and no problem. Happy to assist. I did not kick off the live stream today. When I heard that you were up and running, I was going to keep the activity here kind of low key. So busy week as always. It was great to have Al and his wife over here on Monday for the eclipse. That was pretty cool. We just kind of relaxed and sat underneath the shade umbrella and then watched it happen, and it was interesting. It was definitely it was enough of a partial eclipse here in Tucson where the temperature went down notably in mid-eclipse. And then, of course, worked on Doug's antenna. On Friday, got the top Yagi up to the top of the mast, got the mast hoisted up in the tower, and the new rotator, which is a tail twister, which is more than enough rotator for that thing, underneath the mast and secured and all that stuff. And so there's still some voltage issue with the readout, so hopefully Doug will get that sorted out. And then yesterday we had a really good time with the Microwave Activity Day up on Kitt Peak. So Joel, KD6W, and I were met by Jim, N6CAZ, and we had a nice little spot partway up the road, but below the radio restriction zone because there's radio telescopes up there. And had a fair amount of success. Got Troy with his 200 milliwatts with a very nice signal, and Steve, KJ7OG from Saguaro National Park West, really strong signal. I guess he's made some upgrades to his setup and is now running full 2 watts, so that was good. Robert, as always, was a slam dunk. He's got a really nice setup. And then the 2 interesting ones also were Andy, KC7KW. We were not making it with him pointed directly south to us, but when he pointed north, bouncing off, I think, the usury peak, we made the QSO. And same thing with Alex, K6, able to point south at all. And so we were bouncing signals off the mountains with him. And we missed an opportunity, I think, trying to hook up with a couple of the guys. There was one guy up in Bullhead City. That path was just too hard, too much. And there was another guy up on Mount Laguna in California that I could hear him on 2 meters, and we were struggling to get coordinated. So I think an effort needs to be made with the microwavers here in the Southwest to find some more reliable way to coordinate between us. I thought I was going to have cell phone coverage up there off of Kitt Peak, but it was marginal. Sometimes I would have it, sometimes I wouldn't. It would drop. Joel had more reliable coverage because he had a different carrier. I won't name names, but I'm not too thrilled with my carrier. They may be losing my business soon. And other than that, wrapping up the taxes. So there you go. K7EME in the group, NJ60.
Yeah, the good old taxes. And for those of you who may have forgotten, tomorrow is the dreaded April 15th tax day. And so for those of you who are like me and Chuck, you better scramble around. The clock is tick-tock, tick-tock, for us to avoid all the good late fees that they like to pile on to supplement their slush funds. Anyway, let's see. We had K7BNE and KD7XP. Both of those guys were in and out. So let's get over to Jim, N6CAZ, and I'm going to swing the antenna over that way. So, Jim, if you're copying me, I'm aiming your way. Go ahead, Jim.
All right, very good there, Doug, and everybody on the net. Yep, good day yesterday. Good day of being out and about. And unfortunately, today I've got to buckle down and do some stuff around the house. So, and you had to go and mention that dreaded tax day thing. Man, I was having a good weekend until you mentioned that. Anyway, yeah, not a big deal. At least I get to file this year because I've actually been employed. So I guess I got to look forward to that. Anyway, yeah, good day yesterday. Got to see Kit Peak. For a couple of years I've been out here. I have not been out that way. Even if I didn't meet up with the guys, I thought, it's worth it just to go out and explore a little bit. Got a little distracted on the way back. I was trying to follow my map, and a vehicle got in front of us. I was trying to follow the guys back to get lunch, and at some point I was in a spot where my phone app was telling me to turn somewhere, and I don't think that's what they had mentioned. And then the phone stopped responding to my keyboard, so I had to reboot the phone, which of course takes a couple more minutes, and I don't know, just a big mess. But radio-wise, very successful day. Everything looked really good. And I guess everybody's been talking it up like I've got the bug now for 10 gig, but we'll see how it goes. I mean, I got so many irons in the fire with things that, to sit and start assembling stuff and all that. I'm sure once I get started, I'll get into it, but for right now, I'm like, well, I'll take inventory of what I've got that gets me a couple steps into it. But it may still take a little while. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I was very impressed with the operation of it, and it definitely is more than I thought. I think just in hearing everybody talk about it, it sounded more like you were straining to hear signals off the moon kind of thing, where you're barely able to copy sideband and all that. But no, these guys were, you get aimed right at somebody, and you've got super strong signals and crystal clear. So that is more of an appeal to me rather than being in the weak signal, category for that. But no, I was very impressed with what I saw with it, and I wasn't even thinking gigahertz and everything else to get up there. So it's like going all the way to 10. I've never even done 1.2, and I've got 2 radios that cover it. So a little different animal, but still, as far as I'm adding bands as I go. So 220 was my most recent addition, but this will be something up in the higher end. Definitely looking forward to it. We'll see how it goes here. We'll definitely start familiarizing myself with some parts and the components of it, and maybe it's some, we have one more ham fest coming up. I don't know if we'll find any dishes there, but I can always get started. So anyway, all good stuff, and not a lot going on other than that. I did get my 736R put back together. And one disappointing thing was I thought I cleaned up all the contacts, but one of the switches for the voice processor seems to still be kind of very flaky. So I don't know if it's a cold solder joint or what. I'm going to have to probably tear that little panel back out. But I did get the rig successfully put back together and in its place, and moved on to another project. So they are, I've amassed many of them over the winter. There have been too many hamfests and too many opportunities to get deals. So got way too many things to play with. Anyway, with that, I'll stop rattling on here, and good seeing everybody yesterday, and good QSOs, and we'll catch you guys later on. N6C AZ.
Okay, Jim. I thought you were mobile, but you must be back at home. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm back home now. I was just heading out to the dog park, and I thought I'll fire up the radio since I still have the antenna on it. But yeah, I heard you briefly when I was coming back. You guys were talking about the audio and stuff like that. And I worked Robert from up there at the parking lot, so that's pretty good for that little setup. So it just kind of cobbled together, but it seems to be working.
Yeah, okay. No, it's working well. At one point, I did turn the antenna over that way, and you were S9. So, yeah, no problem there. But I was surprised when you came back. I thought you were staying at the park for some reason, and I forgot about you taking the doggies over there. So that explains that. All right. Well, good on all the above, and glad you at least got an introduction to 10 gigs there. That is cool, and it is amazing how crystal clear with so very few watts these signals can be up there on that band. Let's see where we go next. Jim, W780F, you're next. Jim, go ahead. Well, how are things going up there in Scottsdale?
Good morning, Doug and the group. W780F here, Northeast Scottsdale, Rio Verde Foothills. Yeah, good to have you and Robert back after your little trip helping Robert and his dad there. That's good that you did that and got Robert squared away there. But yeah, I've been catching up on some outdoor projects and cleaning up some stuff in the garage there. Radio-wise, the only thing I'm working on is getting a dipole together for 20 and 40 meters there. I think Mikey WD7R, we've got a camping spot rented up there on the rim for field day, so I think we're planning on going up there for field day and seeing what we can do up there. So radio-wise, that's about it. Everything else is doing good. So with that, I'll turn it back to you, Doug. K7EME in the group, W7ADF.
Are planning to do the field day thing. We'll definitely have to get together. We will be on the Grand Canyon on the South Rim up there where Dan and I have gone before. That was the infamous camping spot just outside the park in the BLM land there, where we had some nice morning views of some campers up there with how can I put this? Enjoying nature in the buff. It was very interesting. Never come across that camping before. So that was yeah. I'll leave it at that. Anyway, we're going to head back up there and enjoy field day from that spot this year. And with some other guys to be determined, the full list of folks. Anyways, Mike, KD7UUN, you're next. I'll bump the antenna over your way here. Go ahead, Mike. Stand by, Serge. Stand by.
It appears had to change my activity a little bit. So hopefully anyway, let's see, well, it's getting warm, and so I've been kind of working on my pool, getting it ready for the warmer temperature, working on a few little leaks and stuff, and watching the water temperature slowly increase, and I suspect by the end of this coming week, it's going to be almost warm enough to swim. If we get into the 90s for a few days, I've got a solar cover on it, so that's going to, I think, make it happen. It's been going up pretty rapidly. Actually not too excited about the heat getting here, but, what can we do? So in preparation for that, I've been doing a lot of work around the yard and getting stuff ready so that, so you won't have to do too much work when it gets really hot. Like to ride the bicycle in the mornings, but I'm going to have to start moving that up early, which is actually good. I like getting out really early in the morning, but got to get my lazy butt out of bed in order to do that. So that will actually be good to and give me an incentive to do that or suffer through the sweat. So anyway. Not too much out there with radio, doing an HF contact here and there. I'm almost always on PW. Ken and I are still working. Ken is actually ready to get on the air. I don't think he thinks he is, but he is. He is really improved and pretty easy to copy now. So he just needs to do it. And so I'm just encouraging him. Go for it there, Ken. I think he's coming up next. So with that, back to you, Doug. K7EME, KD7UUN.
Been keeping busy and getting the yard work and all of that going on, and doing the same work with keeping CW going alive and well as best. We old guys, when we're gone, I don't know. I wonder who's going to be out there left to do that, but good on all the above, and great to hear you again there. And while you were talking there, I heard Serge up in Las Vegas break in. So let's see how our propagation is today. KT6KT, K7EME. Go ahead, Serge. Over. Well, KT6KT, KT6KT, K7EME. Go ahead, Serge. Over. Well, I don't hear him now. Chuck, you want to give him a call?
Yeah, let me give it a shot here. KT6KT, KT6KT, KT6KT. November Juliet 6 Delta, NJ 6D. How copy surge? Over, over, over. KT6KT, KT6KT, KT6KT. November Juliet 6 Delta, November Japan 6 Denmark. How copy surge? Over, over, over. I got nothing, Doug.
Yeah, I know. I heard him there for sure. He'll probably break back in when conditions come back. So a lot of QSB there. So Serge, give us a call if you get if propagation comes back. But he definitely was in there, Robert, so we can get him on the list. So one last try. Serge, are you there?
Yeah, he was definitely there for me too, Doug. I heard him.
Yeah, he's back in there.
6KT, KT6KT, November 7, Victor Delta, Norway 7, Victoria, Denmark. Over, over. Yeah, November 7, Victor Delta, Norway 7, Victoria, Denmark. Is this KT6KT, KT6KT, over?
Yeah, he came back to you. He did come back to you there, Robert. So he's in there. It's just really, really light propagation, really light propagation. But Serge, if you're listening, conditions are not good today. But I do copy. We do have you checked into the net. We do have you checked into the net. Over, over. Yeah, boy. Yeah, he's in and out up there, but he did definitely come back to you, Robert. Okay, well, let's see where we're at here. Let me get back on the list here. Where was I? Mike. Okay, so Lynn, K7HAM, go ahead.
Okay, K7EME, K7HAM. Well, good morning to you in the net. I'm glad you guys had a safe trip, and I am disappointed that Robert didn't bring any barbecue back, but I understand. Other than that, it's been an uneventful week. Just been kicking back and relaxing, and unfortunately just wrote out my check to the IRS. So I'll drop that in the mail today, and just waiting for my state to come back to cover the feds, so break even. Other than that, not much going on. Just sitting here listening to the net. When you first came on, Doug, you were like S9, perfect audio. It looked great on the scope. And then you went downhill. I don't know what happened. Right now, you're about an S6. And I know you cut back a little bit on the power or whatever, but no problems copying you. But when you first came on, you sounded really good. So with that, we'll kick it back over to you, Doug. K7EME, K7HAM.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, sorry about that, guys, and Lynn. So something wasn't right or isn't right, and I'll keep tracking it down here. But I suspect there's some adjustments needing to be made, and so yes, I've cut the power way back. Anyways, Ken, W7KZM, how you doing up there, Ken? Go ahead.
Good morning, Doug and the group. I'm doing great. Right now I'm walking in circles with my wife looking for a little chip for my drone. I just took it out as my wife told me, says, you got to put your manual someplace where you can find it. So she came in with the manual and I lost track of the other thing. Anyway, I hear you guys talk about your trips and all that. You have more energy than anybody I know. So it's really nice listening to your stories and things like that. This week I've been working on the SDR, and I've been working on a computer. I got those working, and also, let's see what else. I've been working on the drone, and the drone is about ready to fly. I've had it in the closet for about 4 years. I finally got the urge to take it out and play with it. But like I said, I was looking for the manual for a couple of days, and I asked my wife. She said, "I've got it right here." Having it. So she's really wonderful to have around. She saves me a lot of time and worry about things. So other than that, it's been a nice week, and welcome back. I'm glad you had a nice trip, and I thought Albert did a very nice job while you were gone, and I want to thank him, and stay out of the sun, and enjoy yourself. Whiskey 7 Kilo Zulu Mike. Have a nice week.
All right, same to you, Ken, and good luck with finding your drone chip there and all of that good stuff. I don't have a drone. I've never had one, but it's something I'd be interested in getting sometime to play around with. You certainly see a lot of people using them and getting some great shots with those. So sounds good, and we'll catch you next Sunday. Jerry, W5RCQ, you're next, and let's get that solar report going here.
Yeah, excuse me. Trying to find my glasses here. K7EME in the group. W5RCQ, Jerry in Sun City, SWOT number 3662. And yeah, I don't have a drone or a 3D printer, so somehow or other for a technical guy, I guess I'm out of it. Anyway, sunspots are improving. Numbers are up this week. There are 7 groups up there right now, and the sunspot number is 115, and anytime it's over 100, I consider that to be good. The 10.7 number is 161, so propagation should be good this week. Don't know how long this is going to last. We do have a geostorm headed our way, so if you're on somewhere on 20 meters or whatever, and you're talking to somebody in the Pacific, and all of a sudden you think somebody cut the antenna, it may be that storm showing up. You never know. And let's see, big deal is Prescott Hamfest is next Saturday. Last 2 have been really good. Bunch of nice guys up there, and I find that there's a little bit different mix of stuff at Prescott than there is in Tucson, for instance. So I'll be there. I'm sure Gene will be there, etc. So think about the Prescott Hamfest. And let's see. I was going to comment on your problem, Doug. I was listening, and you were sounding great, and then all of a sudden you were really, really ugly, but your signal strength had not dropped. It sounded to me like classic RF in the audio. Could be wrong, but I've heard it on myself a lot. My guess is that you got a gram connector somewhere that got jiggled, and you're sounding great right now. So anyway, RF in the audio would be my guess, but who knows? My guess is not any better than anybody else's. And let's see, one last thing I was going to mention is, taxes. How is it that I'm retired, I don't make any money, and I'm paying more taxes than I used to when I was working? Oh, well, enough of that. Let's see. One last thing I was going to mention, Doug. You gave me that name of Bouchy connectors that you were using on your Heliacs, and I have found one of their connectors. They make a 45-degree right angle, not 90, 45-degree right angle adapter. There's a guy on the internet selling them brand new for $20 a piece, actually 19, and I'm using 2 of them for a 90-degree on my 1296. Works really great. They're very well made. The threads work very well. It's just a really neat connector, and for $20 a piece, well, $19 a piece, they're a bargain. So a way to get a 90-degree SWOT connector. They go, I think they're good to 18 gigs for a reasonable price, not $297 or whatever that they get out of them. Look at that Bouchy 45-degree connector. So with that, back to net, K7EME and the group, W5RCQ.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I love those connectors. Absolutely are my favorite for the FSJ half-inch heliacs. Just they pop on and off so much more easily than the Andrews, and yeah, they're good quality connectors. But that's interesting. The 45-degree angle ones might be an interesting compromise for a swept in connector because you're only going 45 degrees. That is quite interesting. I might, that is, yeah, I made a note of that because, I lost one of my swept 45-degree end connectors up on the dish. It had a broken center connector pin on it. And that might be a suitable replacement to do two of those. So I'll definitely look that up there. And thanks for that solar report and all that as well, and your comments. Yeah, I think I need. That'll be another thing. I've got to find my ground braid and run a strap between the flex and the amplifier, and that may be another thing yet to do. Just was looking on the back of the Q5 transverter, the multiband transverter, and it does not have a ground plug on the or a stud on the back of it. So I may have to. I don't know. It's still under warranty, so I don't know if I want to do that just yet. But we'll see about adding that as well. So that may be that is another thing to do. All right, I got my work cut out for me. Let's switch over to Mike, ND7E, and see how he's doing up there in Catalina. Over to you, Mike.
Good morning, Doug, and everyone in the group. Yeah, it sounds.
Oh, much stronger. Yeah, standby surge.
And let me know how the boat anchor with the AM comes out. I guess that's something you can go in there and figure out what parts, if any, need replaced or if the thing is working. But sounds fun. Anyway, I'd like to get to the point where I can do some repair stuff myself as I am tinkering around learning electronics here at home. So anyway, always something to keep your mind active, I say, and even if I'm not anywhere near an expert, at least it's something that's fun to learn with. And good to hear that you had a good trip and didn't encounter any ice or blizzards or any of that nonsense. A little bit of snow, and as long as it doesn't stick to the road and form ice, that's not a bad thing. So good on you, and enjoyed your trip. And that's one reason that I'm not in a hurry to get up to Idaho, because I'll probably wait until the first to the middle part of May, because the weather there stays colder longer, and I'm not in any hurry to get up there, even though I've got a sister and brother-in-law and nephews and the sort, so I can wait till it warms up a little better. I'm not in any big rush, for sure. Anyway, had fun a little bit on HF last night, 20 meters. Got another, I've contacted Russian contacts before, but there was good propagation from there, and got a contact with a Czech Republic, some kind of contest station, I guess it was, that was running, so a little bit of fun there with that. I imagine that this summer it'll be pretty active on hopefully 20, even 15 and 17 getting into the evening hours. We'll see what happens there, and not sure about 6 meters. I periodically check and haven't found activity there, but I understand this is, I guess, maybe even later into the spring where 6 meters might become active, so I'll periodically check that as well. That's about it. Just enjoying, got the taxes paid. You wait, like everybody else, wait till the last moment. I figure I'm going to make as much interest on that as I can before I hand it over to people who are going to waste my money. So with that, back to you, Doug, K7EME, and from ND7E. Have a good day.
Okay, good on all that, Mike. And thanks for checking in. And we had a nice loud signal out of Surge there again. So let's hope the propagation is holding. Back to you, Surge. KT6KT, go ahead. Okay, I've got you at S6. S6 now, Serge. Good copy. Now, boy, that QSB was deep there and rapid, but appreciate the signal report. And so I have half of my array is back. I'm on a single Yagi. The second half is going back up in a short while. So hopefully we'll have a better signal up that way to you, Serge. Everything else going okay up there?
Fine on the antenna, Doug. Good signal now. Hopefully it'll be even better when you get the second half. Nothing new. Thanks for letting me break in. Good morning to you. Good morning to you on that K7EME from KT6KT DM26.
Oh, boy, you hit S7. You hit S7 there, Serge. Awesome. I can't wait till I get the other half going. Let me put it over to Chuck. Let's see how he's doing. Go ahead, Chuck.
Yeah, Serge, good morning. KT6KT, KT6KT, November Juliet 6 Delta. You're peaking S5, S6 for me right now, Serge. How copy? Over.
N6, NG6D from KT6KT, S2, S3, but local noise level S2. So over to you, Chuck.
Roger, Serge. Copy the S2, S3. So excellent conditions at the moment. So thanks for the quick contact and appreciate it as always. KT6KT and J6D.
All right, Chuck. Have a good day also. And J6D from KT6KT.
Oh, Serge, this is the best I've ever heard you in a while, long time. Let me see if anybody else wants to contact you. Anybody else? Okay, nothing else heard, Serge. Great, QSO. Great, QSO. We'll catch you next Sunday. KT6KT, K7EME.
Good morning, Doug, and that K7EME from KT6KT, DM26, clear.
Okay. Oh, just fantastic. Wow. Great. Almost, well, we could rag you if it weren't for the QSB. That was awesome. All right, well, let's get to K7LOL. And Dave, I apologize for getting your name all screwed up this morning, but it'll happen again, I'm sure. Over to you, Dave.
Well, thank you, Doug. This is K7LOL, Dave, and how would you be? Going to be doing a little bit of antenna work this week. I shortened up my HF vertical for the summer. And for some reason, in my modified form, 15 meters is not happy. So it still works. It's like 2 to 1, but I know it'll work better than that. So I'm going to get that fixed. I got to do some tweaking on my CP610 and get the 10 meters SWR down a little bit. The other thing that I was noticing the Jury report here, the 304 entry number is really high. It's at 161. It's I haven't seen it in a long time. I would imagine that 60 is going to be a lot of fun this afternoon. Tomorrow too. I across the website, man. Usually some website about that. It's called AZSWOT.com. You want to take a look at the profile around your location. It'll give you a complete look at all the terrain and along with heights and degrees of elevation and such. I always assumed that South Mountain was a big problem for me being as close as it is, and it turns out it only represents a 5-degree degradation. So from 0 to 5 degrees, I'm dead. But other than that, I'm in good shape, which seems like it'll work for just about everything. The other thing I had looked into was the joining club here
And I am amazed sometimes at the technology stories I hear coming from this group. And I looked at the membership form, and honest to God, you guys, this is from 1999. I got to fill it out, scan it, and then email it. It's pretty lame. Anyway, hopefully somebody can update that technology a little bit. And Doug, you guys talking about hardline and coax, and how long do you need to, how often does it last? From a commercial perspective, in a police life, I can tell you that up to about a week, you'll get 10 years on a hardline and connectors. And then the last bit I have for the group today is totally not ham related. I went there last night at a place called All Pierogi in Mesa. And for those of you in the East Valley, you will absolutely love this place if you are a fan of Polish food. All Pierogi in Mesa, it was outstanding. The service was great and the food was excellent. And with that, Doug, I will turn it back to you, K7EME.
Okay, very good, Dave. And yeah, comment on the terrain analysis and everything there. That's an important tool to use on VHF because it does make a difference, and it can explain. For example, I know South Mountain is a big problem for certain areas of Phoenix from here in Tucson. And getting around that sometimes you gotta bounce signals even over as far east as the superstitions and such from different locations in there. It's amazing, and Chuck alluded to that earlier with Andy KC7KW. Having to bounce off of Usury Peak and such. That's one of the things that makes it interesting down there. Anyway, sounds like you've been keeping busy, and so appreciate as always the updates and everything, and we'll catch up with you next week for sure. Let's see. We had John KC6SEH in Lake Havasu was in after being over in California for quite some time, so it was nice to talk to John this morning. And so that gets us to another Dave, K7SWK. You are next, Dave. Go ahead.
Hello, Doug, and the rest of the net. This is Dave, K7SWK, slot number 3729. Let's see. This week, I'm still trying to close out the business. That probably am 2 weeks away from that. It just so happens that's the end of our fiscal, and so anyways, looking forward to that for sure. Most of the week I've been I pulled a Yaesu 857 out of my vehicle, and I'm going to use that for a field rig, and I'm putting together a field box. But I'm waiting on some parts to come in, and I hope to have this all set up so that I can put it in my RV, and if I want to, I can grab the whole thing and set it outside on a picnic table and use it that way. And so I'm in the assembly process. I'm waiting for rails, protection rails on the 857. And in the meantime, I bought an FT891, installed it in my truck, and very impressed with what I'm hearing so far. And I haven't even made any fine adjustments for audio out or anything, but the people I'm talking to are telling me not to do anything. It sounds just fine. So anyways, that's pretty much how my week's been going. And let's see, we had granddaughter's birthday party last night that we went to and had a great time with a bunch of family there. And my bride is having a birthday tomorrow. She's our tax person in the family. We realize if we make it to her birthday without paying taxes, we're in trouble. So anyways, look forward to that. So with that said, it's always a pleasure to listen to my two-meter friends and trying to expand off of it a little bit and learn a little bit more. and with everybody's help, I can get that done. So appreciate everything, and I'll just say K7SWK back to net.
All right, Dave. Very good. Well, happy birthday to the XYL there. And yeah, I've never experienced using an FT 857 until close up until Robert's mobile there this past week, and I was very impressed with how that thing worked, including the lash up with the screwdriver antenna. The AT really worked impressively well on HF. I mean, we could talk to everybody that in the group that met us on the air and ragged you actually with that. We just never really had an issue making contacts with everybody. So that was I have it's gotten me thinking about HF Mobile, and I have the 705 that I run to drive my 2-meter and 432 in the car, but it only has 10 watts out. So I've been looking at radios, and 891, I think you caught, yeah, the 891. I'm glad to hear your comments on that, because that can be paired up with that antenna as well. So that looks like a nifty little mobile radio, and you can separate the face out of it and park the radio somewhere else, so you don't have all that stuff right, trying to mount it all right there at the console. So very good on that. You have keep us posted on how your experience with the 891 goes there. With that, let's get to Mike, WD7R, and Mike. Glad to be back, and it was great to work you on 20 meters there from, I think we were in Oklahoma or something, got to chat a little bit. So that was fun. Over to you, Mike.
K7EME in the group, good morning. WD7R, and good morning, Dave and everyone. Good to hear you. It's great to hear this chatter about interest in HF. This is a wonderful, VHF, UHF aspect of the hobby, but I too am a big HF person, and field day is coming up. So all this talk about mobile setups and portable and go boxes, I love it. It's wonderful to hear that. The FT710 is another good contender to consider. It's like an 891 on steroids. I believe it works with that antenna, that AZSWOT as well, and has a wonderful band scope with it. So I've had a little bit of experience with that radio, and I prefer the 991A, which also works with the AZSWOT, but 991A gives you shack in a box, so you have 50 watts on 2-meter and 432. So that's my preferred go-to for field, portable, and mobile and such there. So just something else to consider. Had our son home for the weekend. Boys had to get their haircuts yesterday, so that was the big event there. But I managed to carve out some time and smoked a pork shoulder for about 14 hours on Friday, and we had a delicious pulled pork dinner last night with some friends over, so that was fun. But looking to play some radio and some outdoor stuff today. Looks like we got a little bit of a break in the heat there, and it's going to start nudging up again as we progress into next week. So I hope everybody enjoys the weather, gets out and gets those antenna projects done, and we'll look for you all tonight on 3695 at about 6 o'clock there. So everyone have a great day, and Doug, you got a good signal there. 15 over 9, I think, was the last I saw. Looking forward to hearing your big gun with the phased antennas here when everything's all complete. We'll have to do some more signal checks there between you and your neighbor there, Chuck, with his long, gigantic, ginormous boom 2-meter array there. 7-3, WD7R, back to you, Doug.
Okay, yeah, Chuck's definitely got it with the mega antenna there. That thing is a monster, and I don't think there is another 2 meter Yagi out there that could compete with that thing. Just not going to happen. That is a work of art, definitely. So a pair of those would be overkill for just about anything. I what with that. Anyways, the 710 is that? I'm not familiar with that one. Is that a HF only 6 meter HF? And is that a Yaesu?
Roger, Roger. It's a very small, compact Yaesu, maybe just slightly bigger than the 891, but it's got a full color screen and a beautiful waterfall pan adapter band scope deal. Take a look at it on the web. Nice brochure and everything. It's a pretty looking radio. Much better, for just maybe 80 or 90 more dollars. It's a little more expensive than the 891, but I think you get a lot more bang for the buck with that 710, and it's got good receiver specs on it. It's like number 4 or number 5 on the Sherwood list there. Over.
Wow. Okay, I'll have to pay some attention to that as well. And not that any of this is imminent, but for this year I'll have to make do. The alternative is to build a mobile amplifier and run with the 710 as I have it in there, which of course is pretty small as well. So I got lots of ideas, but I'll add that to the list. I did make a note on that, and I will pay attention to that. Thanks, Mike, for everything. W1GGM is next. Emil, are you back from 432?
Yeah, just in the nick of time, Doug. Just finished a couple minutes ago. I went and looked at the streamer. Doesn't look like it's on the air, but here I am. Not much new since 45 minutes ago or so. We talked to Jack and Gene up there in Chino Valley, and Northern Doug was on for a while. And anyways, I still got a bunch of yard work to do today. We spent most of the week running back and forth between here and Mayo, and my wife had a bunch of doctor's appointments, and hopefully it looks like everything came out fine. So anyways, so other than that, I understand you were having some power amp trouble or something. I don't know. I've heard smatterings of that, but anyways, I got to go trim a couple trees to put my HF antennas up and down. There's a branch that's gotten in the way, and I need to cut that out of the way. In fact, that's, I think, what I'm going to do first thing before I even get breakfast ready. Karen ran off to church, and so I got about an hour and a half before she gets home. So that's about it from here. Just thought I'd say hello, and we'll catch up with you one of these days. K7EME, W1GGM.
Okay, very good, Emil. Yeah, I've got I've got an RF problem in here somewhere, so I've got to work on that. Just add it to the list of to-dos, and sounds good. We'll catch up with you tomorrow morning, and you enjoy the hour and a half of freedom before the XYL comes home and gives you some honeydews. They'll be forthcoming, I'm sure. Where do we go next? Warren, K7CWA, over to you. Go ahead, Warren.
Yeah, K7EME, K7CWA. Yeah, I really got nothing here. About the only thing that I can say, which is a little bit humorous, was yesterday. My daughter, who's a school teacher, teaches 4th grade. Anyhow, she was imaging. I wanted her to hear something off the computer, and I could not make the sound work. And I was checking everything and tracing wires and doing all that, and she walked over and pushed the mute button, and it started working. Boy, here I am, the technical genius, and she would know nothing, gloss over her eyes on technical stuff, and she solved my problem. So that's about it for me. K7CWA.
The dreaded mute button. I have fallen victim to that little devil myself. and you know, sometimes I'm my own worst enemy, but you know, we hams we think to technical things, and you start going down the checklist of what the heck is going on, and you know, sometimes. You know, geez, this thing worked just yesterday. Why isn't it working today? You know, and then you come across something like that. Well, you know, there you go. I'm glad to hear somebody else does that. There, Warren. Appreciate that. Appreciate you sharing that. Let's see. Where next is WX7G. Good old Jim up in Gilbert. Jim, it's all yours. Hello, Jim. WX7G. Well, I don't know where Jim went, but he'll check back in when he gets back. I'm sure, maybe in a minute or two here. But in the meantime, we had WA7ELN, and next is he was in and out, and so that gets us to Ron, KW7RNX. Ron, if you're copying me, go ahead. Otherwise, Al, you can relay. Go ahead, Ron. Al, go ahead and relay.
K7RNX, K7EME, Doug, I want you to relay.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead there.
K7ZYP, I'm here.
Yeah, I hear him. I copy him, but I don't think he's copying me there, Al.
K7RNX. Not a whole lot to report this week. Did a little bit of cleanup on the cable runs and broke off all the sunburnt zip ties that were letting everything come apart. So went back and rebundled everything, and hopefully we're back up and running for another 5 years. So not a whole lot to report other than that. A little auto repair for the wife's Mustang, so she took the top down and go cruising. So we're just enjoying the warmer weather. Hopefully the wind will go down, and we will throw it back to Doug, K7EME in the net. Thank you for the relay, K7ZYPL.
Yeah, okay, I do copy you there, Ron. Are you copying me?
Ron, are you hearing Doug?
Very faint. I can't make you out, Al.
Okay, yeah, the different antenna here. Okay, well, I copied everything he said there, Al, and fine. He's got a convertible Mustang. I'm jealous. You can tell him that.
Perfect double.
Yeah. Go ahead, Al.
Okay. Ron, Doug is not, Doug is copying you, Ron, but Doug, Ron can't copy you, but apparently you heard everything he said, so go ahead there, Doug.
Yeah, just tell him I'm jealous that he's got a convertible Mustang.
Ron, Doug says he's jealous that you've got a convertible Mustang, over.
You got a good-looking blonde and a red Mustang, so I just kind of sit down, shut up, and go for the ride, over.
Okay, very good. Yeah, okay. A red Mustang convertible. That sounds like a speeding ticket waiting to happen. Anyway, thanks a lot, Ron. With Doug, W7IXA was in and out, I believe, so that gets us to Gene, K8WQ up there, and I was copying Gene pretty well. Go ahead, Gene.
Yeah, K7EME, K7WQ, you copy okay?
Yes, I've got you. Go ahead.
Very good. Yeah, you're hitting me all the time. You're putting in real good here. My model is going to be different morning. Wonderful, just flying, which is well, it's been really long just to listen to you guys. So much stuff for that. Just trying to be a terrible way. I can't probably be probably tired. My days just go away. There's no planning. I just do whatever happens. Anyway, just give it a discussion.
Okay, very good there, Gene. And a little bit of QSB came in after you got started. And earlier, you were quite good there. So just a little bit of QSB there, kind of in the middle and toward the end. But I do copy it. Perhaps when I get the other half of this antenna up. We'll be in a little better shape. But you were the best I've ever copied you there for a while. So good to hear you there. And thanks for checking in. And we'll catch up with you again next week. So let's see I guess we're near the bottom of the list. We had WJ0F, Lee, and Barry, KC7BEQ, and in there as well. So we've covered everybody down to the bottom of the list. So let's see if there are any late check-ins for the Arizona SWOTnet. Come now.
WX7G finally woke up.
Aha! You were asleep at the microphone.
Well, I heard you. Some people call it a lazy boy. I call mine a sleepy boy, and because every time I sit down on it, it seems like that's what happened to me. Anyway, glad I did wake up before the net was completely over here. And yes, you mentioned that tall building in Oklahoma City there, Doug. And I was looking that up on the internet, and I see where some yahoo out of California wants to build a 134-story building in Oklahoma City, the tallest one in the nation. Can you believe that?
Oh well, I guess I guess it was bound to happen. So he's trying to outdo the other one. So that's really gonna screw up their skyline. You're gonna have everything will be short, and then the medium height, and then 134 stories. What is the World Trade Center? Something like 110?
I'm not sure. It was going to be the second tallest, and then he changed his plans to make it actually the tallest. Would make it like, I don't know, the fourth or the second. Anyways, they like that up there where the tornadoes blow things around. Doesn't make no sense to me, but hey, what the heck? So was that like your first time through Oak City, Doug?
Yes, it was. Very first time through there. Yeah.
All right. Well, I had a good friend, a fellow military buddy, who used to live right there in the center of Oklahoma City, a little town called Dell City. And he says, Oklahoma City, 800,000 people, or wait a minute, 200,000 people, 800,000 cows. That's how they got to be a million population. QSL?
QSL. Well, yeah, and interesting. No, my parents used to go there once a year for the college women's World Series that they have there in Oklahoma City every year, and the women's softball World Series. And they had some tornado. They had to scramble and go down into the shelters there more than once during their time there. So you're right. That brings up a really good point. Who the heck would want to be on a 134th floor of a building when there's a tornado out there? The view would be terrific from up above, though.
About this, and thank you very much. I apologize for being late to the party. but thank you for having me in here today. WX7G.
No problem there. I'm glad you got caught back up with us there, Jim. So sounds good. We'll catch you next week. Anybody else wanting to check in? All right, that's brings us to the end of it, and certainly appreciate everybody coming by this morning and spending some time with us. So with that, we'll shut the live stream down, and you guys all have a terrific week. Get those taxes in the mail. Get them postmarked. Catch you guys later. K7EME.
Already paid mine, K7ZYP. Hey, good night, guys. Thanks a lot, K7ZYP.
Hey, Doug.
Yeah, go ahead, Chuck. Let me look. I have not nearly what I was running before. Let me put a carrier on. Sorry, I hit the mouse. 800 watts.
Yeah, okay. I was just wondering because it's not sounding that bad right now. There towards the end, it sounded like it was pretty clean.
Yeah, so I think a ground strap is in order. Robert's been talking to me about doing that in the Mobile, and I think I need to do that. I've got 25 feet of braid somewhere. I was looking for it before we left on our trip. And so I need to do that. There's not a ground stud on the Q5, but I'll daisy chain all these amplifiers with that strap to the somehow I'll find a screw on the. I'll put a stud in that Q5 and then over to the flex. That may help as well. And I'm not so sure the bias didn't drift up a little bit on that, the forward biasing. So I may have an issue there, or I may not, but I appreciate the report.
Yeah, no problem. And on the Q5, what I did to ground it on my setup is I took one of the rear screws of one of the fans on the for me it was on the left hand fan, the rear left hand corner, and I just loosened up back that screw out and slipped the ground strap underneath, and so it's grounding clamped down with the fan against the heat sink, and that I think is a pretty good ground.
Oh, I see that. Yeah, it's bolted right into the tapped into the heat sink. So there you go. That's good advice. I'll do that. And as far as impressions on the antenna, definitely sharper, absolutely. And it could be the front to back is a little different as well, because at first I was having trouble. I'm not copying Ron as good as I was a KW7RNX. But I do copy him, but he's not hearing me at all off the back when I'm aimed up toward Phoenix. So definitely some changes there as well.
Yep, I'm not surprised. Like you said, I predicted that the pattern that for that antenna relative to where it was before was going to tighten up with everything nice and in line with each other. So it's as I keep